I decided to kind of redo this because I feel like before I was rambling, but anyway, I've been kind of thinking about doing this video for a little while, and it's a little bit different than what I would normally post. But I wanted to talk about mental health care and the post-pandemic climate here. And the reason I wanted to talk about this is because, as many people know, we've already had problems prior to the pandemic with there not being enough mental health care. But in the post-pandemic world, and even during the pandemic, mental health issues skyrocketed and the amount of support for it plummeted. And now that things are supposedly back to normal, we're still in that kind of sort of world. Unemployment still higher than people expected. People are still getting laid off, despite all of these places that say that they need to hire people and can't find anyone to work. In fact, it just happened at my husband's job yesterday. They laid off a bunch of people. So, people are still dealing with this. People got stuck home during the pandemic that were in domestic violence situations, and, there just isn't the support there. So prior to the pandemic and all through my life, I have gone to counseling. I'm one of those people where, like, if I know something's not feeling right with me and I need that other ear for whatever reason, I'm going to go do it. I have ADHD diagnosed. I have anxiety, depression. It's not been diagnosed, but I feel like I have PTSD because I was married once previously and it was a very abusive situation. My ex even threatened to kill me prior to my leaving. And I have dealt with a lot of triggers, and it gets better over time as I learn how to react and cope with those. But, it's always something that's there. But at any rate, I can't take amphetamines for my ADHD, and so I have to find kind of the right mix of other medications to help me. And at the end of 2022, I started having problems. I was having trouble paying attention more at work. I was having more trouble sleeping than usual, which, not that was unusual. I've dealt with that most of my life, but it was getting worse. But what concerned me the most is I was having what we call passive suicidal ideation, which basically means I didn't have intent to harm myself. However, I would have these thoughts that would just pop into my head, and it was just relentless, and it drove me insane. And I confided this to my fiance, then now husband, what was going on. I said, I'm watching this happen in my mind, and it's I feel like I'm going crazy because I know that this isn't me. This isn't something that I want. I have nothing to feel upset about. I have, a wonderful family. I have a good job. I have this wonderful man in my life now who is supportive of me, treats me, with respect and love, and treats my family that way. There's nothing for me to be upset about. We have our financial problems sometimes, but who doesn't? So I was like, I can't understand what is going on. So I started calling all of these counselors. I called ones I'd been to before. I tried calling new ones. None of them called me back for months and months and months. And the only place that wound up contacting me back is that thing you see on YouTube called Better Health. And the problem with them was they don't accept insurance, and I couldn't afford it. So I don't really know exactly what I get out of sharing this, other than to say, if this is something that you've been struggling with, you're not alone. You can look at people around you that look like they're totally normal and don't know what's going on behind closed doors. A lot of people deal with this, and I work in medical coding currently. I don't work directly with patients anymore. But mental health, even among people you think wouldn't be dealing with something, is just skyrocketing. It's something that we needed help with before in the medical field, and it's absolutely something we need now even more, because I don't know if during the pandemic, obviously the amount of patient load went up, but also I know some practices wound up closing. So if it's something as a medical professional you're considering going into, I know it's a huge ask. It's something that's hard to not take home with you. I don't know that I could do it because my heart is just so attached to people. I don't know that if I could not take it home. But, you know, between that and elder care, it's just something that we need so badly. There's not enough of it in the world. And it's something that you could potentially do to make a really big difference for all the people struggling. I hear more and more in the news and on all these YouTube recaps about just teenagers and stuff that have gone in and, you know, harmed other school children, harmed their families. And people say, well, who was watching for the warning signs? Sometimes they were. Sometimes they went in, and then a couple days later they were released because there's just not the health care that for them there to be able to help them with their mental health. So, yeah. So you're not alone, and I hope that if you're considering going into the health field, that if you feel you have the capacity to do something about that, and to help people with their mental health, that's something that you might consider. So anyway, with that, I'll cut this off and have a great day. Oh, also, if you are considering harming yourself, obviously, you know, there's the National Suicide Hotline pretty much in every country. But one thing a lot of people don't know about is there is also a 24-hour hotline for domestic violence. And they do have a way that you can click in and out really fast. If you feel like you're in an unsafe situation, you could either chat or you can call. I will leave that information in the description below. So anyway, have a great day.